Hi, my name is Lakia Stinchcomb, and I work for WKRG News here in Mobile, Alabama. My title with the company is digital journalist. And as a digital journalist, I shoot, edit, and I interview people. And my day pretty much consists of, so it changes, but I'll either interview the person with another reporter or I'll interview the person solo, and sometimes I'll write the scripts myself or I'll let another reporter write the scripts. My typical day starts with us going to the morning meeting, and in the morning meeting, the reporters, the producers, and the news director, we all get together and figure out what stories we're going to do that day. And we leave and do the stories that are assigned to us. Now that can include one story, or we could do multiple stories in a day. We just never know. So every day is different, but you do know you go to that morning meeting unless there's breaking news and they just call you and tell you where you need to go. Now, when I arrive to a scene or to an event, I'm a digital journalist, so I have to shoot it myself. So I get my camera, I start filming everything that I possibly can. Depending on if it's an active scene, I'll get all my video first and then figure out who I'm going to interview. But if it's an event, I typically like to get my interviews first before I start shooting the event, because you never know when you're going to get that call to go to the next story. Typically, I work a 40-hour work week, but that changes weekly because a lot of times I get overtime depending on what's going on. I would say that this job is not as stressful unless we have breaking news or we're having wall-to-wall coverage, things like hurricanes or storms coming our way. And it gets really stressful then, I think, because we're all kind of crammed together and we see each other more than we see our families. So we're kind of bumping heads and we're tired and we're hungry, but we all come together for the sake of the news story. So at the end of it, we all know that we did a good job and our stress kind of diminishes after that. Now, for this job, you don't necessarily need a college degree, but I strongly recommend it. I got my degree in broadcast journalism, and I feel like it helped me tremendously with this profession because I was able to see exactly what news people do on a day-to-day basis. I would also strongly encourage you to take public speaking classes or even English classes or some type of literature class to help with writing. Graphic design is always good too, because in this profession you need to know how to do multiple things, and we have graphics department, have writing department, shooting department, so all those things go hand in hand. For this type of job, you definitely need to be a people person because we meet people every single day, and you need to know how to interact with different types of people. Also, you need to love what you do because this job doesn't pay as well as maybe another job with a 4-year degree, and you won't last as long if you just go by the wages you make, because you definitely won't be happy if you're not already loving the profession. The best part about my job is that every day I know it will be different, and I like the fact of coming into work and you not really knowing what you're going to do. For me, I like that because I don't like sitting behind a desk and doing the same thing over and over. The worst part about my job, right now I'm not married or have kids, but because of the long hours and the schedule and working holidays and weekends, a lot of people say it's not really family friendly. But for me, it's not a problem because I don't have kids or a husband yet, but I would think that this is not as family friendly for people who are in that position. For those interested in this job, one thing you need to look out for is that a lot of the stories we do are very emotional, and this job can be very emotionally draining on some people. I've covered things like murders, kids dying, Alzheimer's patients gone missing, and it takes its toll sometimes when you start to think about your loved ones. You never know if you're going through something that's similar to the story you're covering, so you can go home emotionally drained. Before graduating, if you're a college student or even in high school, I would suggest you getting some type of internship in the news field, because you definitely want to know what you're going to get yourself into. We've had people that once they did their internship, they learned that this is not the job for them, and you definitely want to know that before you graduate and you're trying to find a job. So internships are helpful. English classes are helpful because you need to learn how to do public speaking. You need to know how to write. Public speaking classes are really helpful as well because you have to talk all the time. And you need to know just how to deal with different people. So if you're in different organizations, you'll know how to meet people, how to network, and things like that. You need to always be on your best behavior because Big Brother is always watching, and everyone pretty much has a camera phone now. So you may pop up on somebody's Facebook page or even YouTube. So you always want to make sure your image on air and your image that you have at work is the same image that is being carried out on your Facebook page or anybody else's Facebook page.